problems to equations. We start on page 23, and there are 2 whopping examples today, okay? 2 huge examples. Rather than give you the book examples, I continue to try and provide extra samples for you that relate to the book examples. Here's the first one. There were twice as many people choosing chocolate, L-A-T, try making that an E, versus vanilla ice cream. There were 300 people surveyed. Okay, if I said to you, write a variable expression for the people who choose vanilla. Write a variable expression for the people who choose vanilla. So let's write chocolate. I'm drawing. You don't have to. This might not be the way you fly. Maybe you have a different thinking process. Chocolate versus vanilla. Using a variable expression. What do we know about vanilla based on the story? Or what do we know about chocolate in comparison to vanilla? Okay, so if chocolate is double vanilla, what do you want to call vanilla? How about V? So in relationship to their first question, they asked, choose a variable expression to indicate vanilla. We got it. All right. Choose a variable expression to indicate chocolate based on 2 what? 2V. Good. There were 300 people surveyed, questioned, asked, which means the chocolate lovers plus the vanilla lovers, what? Equal is 300. Good. How can I write that data as an equation? What do you think, Kat? How can you write that data as an equation? Go ahead. Wait a minute. Are you sure? I thought it was these 2 people combined is that. Right? Because these are the people that were surveyed. Some chose chocolate, some chose vanilla. Yep. Why would it be divided by 2? You don't have to divide anything. Chocolate lovers plus vanilla lovers, what? Good, exactly. Don't make it harder than it is. All we're doing is we're saying the sum of the chocolate folk versus the vanilla folk is 300. Okay, that is my first sample. Using the same story or the same storyline, I'm going to do another deal. I'm going to do kind of a similar story anyway. $45 fewer people ordered burgers rather than pizza. The order total was 243. All right. What am I comparing? We're not comparing ice cream anymore. It looks like we're comparing meals. What about the meals? Burgers and pizza. What do I know about these two objects? Or how about this? Which object is the other object based off of? Everything is based on pizza, right? I know that's a difficult way to phrase it. So if everything is based on pizza, pizza will be my variable. What do I know about burgers? Okay, how do I make burgers 43 fewer than pizza? Fewer? Fewer.
Okay, so 45
Nope. Fewer than pizza. So what will be first? Okay, go ahead. Good. There's your detail about pizza. 45 fewer doesn't mean 45 minus. Okay, you're getting it backwards by doing that. How do I turn this into an equation, Lizzie? Good. So, burger eaters, looks like booger, burger eaters plus pizza eaters equals the total number at the restaurant, or whatever, the total being discussed. Okay? So far, so good? All right. Okay, got another one for you. Now, there's no more examples, like the book only has 2, but I'm just going to keep going because I have several more I want to share with you. All right. Okay. In the world, you're either a boy or a girl. God made us that way. And that looks like what we're talking about. What do we know? Give me some variables that will explain this situation, Lee. Yeah, give me, how will you describe boys? Okay, how will you describe girls? No.
Oh, wait, okay.
Nope. Give me how you would describe it based on all the things we've already done. 12 more girls than boys.
B 12 plus
B plus 12.
plus.
Okay. Girls is being compared to boys. So you use what we know about boys, which is nothing. All we know is there are 12 more girls than boys. Let's build an equation to reflect that, Jay.
You do E plus B plus 12 equals 22.
Good. So this is what we are using to represent boys. and that is girls, because of the sum of these things, is that. All right. And you're going to hear a lot of different stories like that. You can talk about money that way. Sally and Bob had $25. Sally has $5 more than Bob. So Bob and Bob plus 5. You're going to hear a lot of items that are just like that. Or they might say to you something like distance, jogging. The students' combined jogging totals is 10 miles. Sally jogged 5 miles further than Bob. So Bob is Bob, Sally is Bob plus 5. And whatever I just said, the total number of jogging miles, okay? Now here's another example that I want to share with you. Notice how we are relating these two things, right? The sum of boys and girls gives me the total. You guys want to draw huge stars next to this one because I guarantee you, when you start working later, you're going to come to my desk for number 7, and I'm going to say, go back to your seat and look at the one with the stars. Okay? This sample right here, I'm going to get going here. Stan biked 9 kilometers more than, what on earth was that? Did you guys hear that? Mm-hmm. Stan biked 9 kilometers more than Jack. Stan biked twice as far as Jack. Okay? Looks like I'm comparing information about two dudes. And it's kilometers biked. Would you agree? What do I know about Jack? Jack is Jack, right? And everything else uses Jack as your base of reference, right? First sentence says, Stan biked 9 kilometers more than Jack. How can I indicate that using a variable expression? Tell me. J plus 9. Stan biked twice as far as Jack. Uh-oh, I've got another piece of detail about Stan, don't I? Which means I'm going to write another description about Stan on the same line. Two pieces of information about the same guy that refers back to Jack. So Stan biked twice as far as Jack. How will I write that as a variable expression, guys? 2J. There's no total, right? No total here. However, I know that what Stan biked is described two ways. Okay? Which, isn't what Stan biked the same as what Stan biked? What Stan biked is the same as what Stan biked. It's just being described differently. So if two items are the same, how do you relate those to one another using a symbol? If two items are the same. Equals. What Stan biked equals what Stan biked. Okay? When you do this, if you were to solve it, and you could, you would subtract J, and you would find out that Jack biked 9, and Stan biked 18. 9 plus 9 is 18. 2 times 9 is 18. This is a very, very common problem that causes people to slam on their brakes and freak out. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Another way this could have been written is Stan biked 9 kilometers more than Jack. Altogether, they biked da-da-da-da-da, right? Then it would be that other setup, Jack and Jack plus 9 equals whatever the sum was. But they didn't give us that information. Perimeter. I'm going to do a perimeter problem with you. And this is the last one. And this kind of rule could work for area as well. The perimeter of a rectangle is 36 centimeters. The length is twice as long as the width. Find length and width. What we're about to do will allow us to set that up. You can do this one of two ways. You can draw it, and you can do LW, or you can draw it this way and use what you know to figure it out. So what do we know about the length versus the width? So how would you indicate width based on that information? The length is twice the width. Nope. Okay, W is what, Lee? Width is? The length is double the width. How will I describe width? Nope. The length is twice the width. How will I describe width? What did you guys say? I heard somebody say the answer. W. W. What do we know about length? So how would you indicate twice the width? There you go. Read what they write and describe it. Which of these appears to be longer? These or these? The bottom and top, right? Which of these appears to be bigger? A number or double the number? Looks to me like these are going to be your lengths. Which means these are what we're going to describe as your widths. By definition, what is perimeter? Add all the sides. Okay, Lee set up an equation that adds all those sides.
4W equals 36 centimeters.
So in its simplest form, it looked like that, right? Could you guys tell me what width is based on that information? That would mean these sides, and again, they're not asking you to solve it, but you could. Can you tell me what length is based on that information? Can anyone tell me what length is based on this information? 12. 2 times 6. If W is, lost my place, 6, then 2 of those is 12. And if you add this up, 12 plus 12 plus 12, because 6 and 6 is 12, you would indeed come up with 36. That's how you'll know you're right when you do start solving these. So I wanted you to see that when you create an equation, it is reflecting a truth based on a story, okay? And to kind of go further, I know we're not there yet, but to go further and actually solve it allows us to go back then and see, well, did I make sense? Because if you guys did, this is W and this is W plus 2, that would not reflect double. That would reflect 2 more than. Okay, be careful about how you define the differences there.